Giggity.
You're now listening to the Sportz Nutz.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to yet another great episode of the Sportz Nutz. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. I know the weather was absolutely amazing here. Real quick, before we go to our introductions, special shout out to everybody listening live on 95.5 KFCE in Terrell, Texas, and on TigerNation.live, which airs in Texas, Missouri, and Oklahoma, and the other 8 radio stations that we do air on, and also the 38 countries we air on. Thank you guys so much. It really does mean a lot to us. My man sitting next to me, Shane Owen, man. How are you doing, sir?
Man, doing good, doing good. Can't complain. A little bit chillier today, but hey, towards the end of the week, it's supposed to be beautiful. So I can deal with a couple of days of this to get forward to the weekend, and of course, Monday's done. Toughest day of the week. Let's not have another one tomorrow.
I love that. I love that one. Our guy Matt will be here momentarily. He is wrapping up something at work. But want to let everybody know that we have a lot of great topics to discuss today. And we do actually have a special request at the end of the show. So stay tuned to that request. So here's what we're going to talk about today, y'all. We're talking about the college baseball world as in general. It had there was some amazing baseball that took place this weekend in college baseball. We're going to talk a little bit about that one. And then there were two games remain to see if Miami of Ohio, the Redhawks, go 31-0. Yes, to finish the season undefeated would absolutely be good. We'll talk a little bit about the scare they had against Western Michigan and what to look forward to in the upcoming remaining games, and could they steal an at-large bid on Selection Sunday? Now, there has been reports that the Atlanta Braves could be for sale. Now, they will not relocate. No, they're not going to relocate. So everybody calm your horses down right now. You are not going to hear them saying the Braves are relocating. No, they are most likely going to go up for sale because the current ownership, it's not really caught up with the times, and it's catching up to them. And if they want to put their footprint into the future, they've got to change the helm. So we'll talk a little bit about that one as well. Ben, good to see you, brother. And then the NFL draft is a little more than 2 months away, 53 days to be exact. Now we excuse me, we know there always are mounds upon mounds upon mounds of trades that take place. Some of the worst, and some of them could be the best. There was one report that the Oakland Raiders were opening to listening for potential trades. What? Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a few minutes. Then Shane has a sports story. When Matt gets here, he has a sports story. I have a sports story. And then it comes our favorite segment, which is the honorable mentions. What we do there is we give you 2 to 4 stories that usually the mainstream media gets the least amount of coverage to, or they just don't cover it. So we have that, plus we have you, the most interactive fans there is. All right, so what you guys probably are wondering, what is this like requests that we had for you? Well, I'm so happy you asked that question, because we want to have the opportunity for you to grow. Okay, we love interacting with all of our fans. Okay, if you are someone who is a player for college football, college basketball, college baseball, hockey, the AHL, ECHL, NHL, NFL, NBA, anything, we would love to hear from you. All you got to do is just send us a message. You can message me on all my socials and just let me know that you would love to talk with me, because you did this in a certain sport, and we'll be good from there. We also um, we have so many opportunities to invite our audience into to debate with us. Okay, so there's also another one. Now, everybody who is tuned in that comments and everything, we thank you so much for that one. But we want your help on this one. Now, we want to hear from you. You can send us like any messages on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you see the opportunity to give us a topic or two that you'd like to have us talk about or debate with us, and we will select the best answer. And if you are the best answer, we have you come on the show for about 15 to 20 minutes, and you literally debate with all four, with myself, with Matt, with Shane, and with Ben, all of us. We will debate with you. You have until April the 20th to submit your topic ideas. So just go from there. But anyway, all right, Shane, let's dive right into it. Really excited about this one. Excuse me, I didn't mean to hiccup on you there. I apologize. First off, the college baseball world, man. Over the weekend, we saw some like darn good baseball matches, and it was just in general great games. But looking at the scoreboard, which games did you pay close attention to, and which games were you not expecting such a huge upset to happen?
Oh yeah, well, I of course was, which I had mentioned, that Miami Florida series. I paid pretty close attention to that. Great series overall for the weekend. The South Carolina Clemson series. Clemson did end up winning that one 2-1. Was great atmosphere down there at Founders Park for the whole weekend. So great to see that. But we also had two different kind of, I guess you would say, start of the season kind of tournaments go on this weekend with the AMG Bank Baseball Series and then the Bruce Bolt College Classic. Each one of those had three of the four teams participating were ranked. So we got to see some great ranked matchups this weekend alone. And we saw what four of the top six teams go down earlier in the week, but they bounced back this weekend for sure. You kind of saw some of the dominance, especially from UCLA and LSU. But man, it's amazing to see the offensive production that we're seeing this early in the season in the college baseball ranks, even spring training. We're looking at double-digit scores among most of these games early on. So I don't know what you can contribute that to, but as a fan, you definitely love to see those multi-hit games from players and but then again you always love to see a good pitcher's duel. I mean, what was it, one kid took who was it, I forget who they were playing, but he went 8.2 innings, 130 pitches this past weekend. So I mean, we're already seeing some great pitching as well come out early on in this college baseball season. So it's going to be very interesting to see what accumulates throughout the year and what kind of storylines we get.
Oh yeah, did you see the college baseball play where the kid was running back and he takes the leap to rob a home run, and he flips over the wall out in the outfield, flips it over, and somehow still holds onto that ball. And it was like Sports Center's like top two play. It was It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't see his top play, but I think I saw something about it.
Yeah,
I
it was
forget who it
crazy.
was, but yeah. And then we had a kid from Alabama throw out another guy at home. I mean, great ball all the way around at the start of the season.
Oh yeah. There's so many quality matchups that are taking place. I'm telling you now, Shane, I'm digging this. I really am, man. That like this is going to be a lot of fun to watch, but on the other side of the big upsets that have happened is some of these teams that we're seeing them lay fat goose eggs. It's kind of like, oh wow, we're already doing this, and which ones have you sat there and said, man, like what on earth happened, because this is not what we're used to.
Well, one of those ones I guess would be in the Bruce Bolt Classic from this past weekend would be Coastal Carolina. That they dropped two games, be it to ranked opponents, but we saw that reflection in the standings out today. So they dropped pretty heavily due to that, but I could see them getting back on track. Another team going in the right direction, I guess you would say, would be Southern Miss. They look good. Of course, they've got a top 10 matchup coming this week, so it should be interesting to see exactly where they are at. So we might see them slip as well, depending on how they do in that series. But Nebraska didn't look good at all against Auburn this weekend. Some teams that you normally would see do great really haven't done much this year yet.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna just have to kind of wait around and see what it's all about. It's Major League Baseball is 162 games. College, I believe, is what 72 or something like that.
I think
If
so.
that many. It's like 68 to 72, I believe. But it's still a long season, and then you got postseason play and all that to go with it. So it's definitely interesting to watch, and we'll see how some of these teams that are slumping out the gate, how they respond. Especially since it's early in the season.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of baseball, I'm going to go to another topic because I want this one view when Matt gets on. But there is a report that is out that the Atlanta Braves could be for sale. Now, folks, they aren't going to relocate. Just don't freak out thinking, oh, great, the Atlanta Braves are going to relocate. No, the fan base is so behind the Atlanta Braves, and the revenue that they earn is exponential. There's no way they're going to relocate. They're just trying to catch up with the times. The ownership has been the same ownership for a very long time, and it's kind of stagnant. They don't really, you don't really get the opportunity to see growth in a good way of Atlanta. You see a lot of bringing back the boys from the past and hoping that we can rekindle that flame that happened with regards to the Atlanta Braves winning the World Series in 2021. Times have changed. We're now 5 years post the World Series title for the Atlanta Braves. So we've got to really seriously consider getting this fixed and everything. So, I will say this, the area, it's what they're wanting to do. They're wanting to focus around with the future of the program. They wanted to focus on the area around Truist Park, the Battery, and the soon to be developed lands. So if nobody's been there, I'm going to try and paint you a picture the best I can. So you have Truist Park right smack. It's literally at the intersection of 285 and I-85 to connect. I mean, it's a horrible location, traffic wise, but back in the day before the Atlanta Braves came there, it used to be a rough area. They had started re-urbanizing it like a lot of towns do. They pushed the bad out to bring the good in. And so they did a lot of development. Well, they moved their NBC or Comcast headquarters to there. They moved they have a hub of Truist Bank there, and then you have what's called the Battery, which is like restaurants and shops and a hotel to stay at. Well, they've also have townhomes that have already been built there. Then they have single family dwellings. They even have apartments. That's the land that's developed. Well, they're developing even more around it. There is shops. There is going to be more doctors' offices. So the area in general is going to grow even better. And I'm really excited about this. So Shane, we see all this stuff, and now the estimated price. This is what's really weird. Is it's not been released because there is no estimated price. They made $770 this past year, but then you take away all the costs, you're still with a hefty. They still made a hefty profit, but some experts believe that the Braves organization is valued at $5 billion. Some have said as low as $890 million. I think it's worth more than that. So Shane, if let's just put a mock price on it right now. Okay, let's just say it's $2.5 billion is the cost for the Atlanta Braves. What are you thinking is going to happen once we got this new owner? He's coming in here now, and we're ready to go. What would you think is be the first thing they're going to try and grow at Truist Park in the Battery as well?
Well, I think that they're doing a great job already there at Truist Park in the Battery, especially with what there is to offer besides the ball game. Uh, when they were out by the airport and stuff, downtown, there was a lot to do, but of course it was downtown. So the best way to go to one of those ball games wasn't to go around and be involved in this baseball atmosphere with the ballpark right there. It was you hang around on the outskirts, and then you take Marta in and get off right there and go to the game, kind of deal. So it's fun to go around underground for a little bit, but other than that, there wasn't much revolving around the Braves organization. So with the involvement of the Battery and with all the shops and the restaurants around there, and now as you mentioned, bringing the townhomes in. It creates an atmosphere of a kind of a just a true like city inside of a city, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when you go towards Wrigley, right there, those couple blocks, they're all about Wrigley. So although it be a newer development, the Braves could go off of that. Baltimore, Camden Yards, Boston, where they are. There's a lot that you can kind of play off of there and make the area great. And the good thing about it is they're not in downtown anymore. They're up on the northern side of the city, so there's room to do these kinds of things. I know you said traffic. The
Oh,
only downside,
that's a bad pitfall right there too.
the only downside is traffic. But we're talking about Atlanta, and it doesn't matter if you're going to a ball game or going to and from work in Atlanta. It's
You're
always
always
a
an hour
nightmare.
outside of Atlanta, even if you're inside Atlanta.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. 1 hour, 10 miles.
That's right.
Good luck. Good luck. That's not my. I like a slower speed, but that's in a longer journey. Let's put it
Yes.
that way. But definitely, I think that the ownership that comes in is going to kind of take a hold of the surroundings of the ballpark, kind of first with the Battery and all, and then kind of focus in on the team aspect of things. And from there, Truist Park is one of the newer parks in the league, but there's always room for improvement. It's like you always say, Ricky Bobby. If you're not first, you're last when it comes to
That's right.
that.
People don't know that that's actually Shane and mine's nuance. When we talk to each other, I go Ricky Bob, and he calls me Cal Dalton Jr. We always be talking about that. But you know what though? Also, Shane, I do know that it's been mentioned. I don't know if it's in the works yet, but they are wanting to. Can you bring him on? Matt, can you bring yourself on if you're able to? But I know that they're talking. What's up, Matt? They're trying to bring in more seating at Truist Park. I know that there is talks that they want to enclose part of Truist Park. There's a lot of variables that have to take place on this one. Matt, what we're talking about is that there's a report out there that the Atlanta Braves are going to be up for sale. There's no figure that says they're estimated yet. They're not going to relocate. So you don't have to worry about the term relocation. It doesn't even exist in this stuff here. But what they're trying to do is they want to get the ownership more familiar with the current times. They're still kind of in the olden times, the 90s and early 2000s, and heck, even the mid 2000s for the Atlanta Braves. So it will be nice to see this come in, but they're going to do a lot of focusing on with regards to, this, Matt. There's the live, work, play is around Truist Park and the Battery. You've seen it before, right, Matt?
Absolutely.
So what they're trying to do is they want to create more parks. I know they have the townhomes, but they're going to bring the single family dwellings. They're going to bring more affordable rental income properties. They want to bring another movie theater there, so much more. And they're centralizing it around the Battery, around everything. And, folks, Shane made a good little point that it's like Wrigley Field. Matt, have you had the privilege to go to Truist Park yet? Have you gone to see again there yet?
Absolutely. I've been there many times.
It reminds you of a little Truist Park. I mean, a little bit of a Wrigley Field, doesn't it? Yeah. So Shane, I'm glad you alluded to that. And it really does feel like you're inside of another dimension. It's beautiful. It really is. It's just something special. Now, the only pitfall that Matt knows this so well is the traffic, because it's centralized on. And Matt, explain to everybody what 285 is.
285 is let's say you had how many millions of people are in the state of Georgia? About
543, as according to the 2024 census.
There's less than five. There's not 543 million here in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, yeah.
In Georgia area, I say about it's like 4 or 5 million. It's like 4 or 5 million. So let's say you got 4 or 5 million people all work at the same time at the same place. You drop them all on one highway, and that's 285.
That's exactly what it is. It's
pretty much.
People are like, "When does rush hour start?" And I go, "Well, rush hour starts at 4:58 and ends at 4:59 the next morning."
Yeah, there you go, Brandon. Yeah, but I mean, But realistically, yeah, your major highways here in Georgia, in the Atlanta area, 285, 85, 75,
85, 400.
400. 400 I don't count. 400 is on the other side though.
But 400, they're expanding 400. They bring back the toll road again on 400.
Yeah, but 400 does go all the way down to Atlanta. It's around Atlantic small area. But
the 20. Shane had 20.
Yeah,
20.
Yeah.
You got
675 also. 675 was the outer perimeter at one point.
But it's like, okay, so 285 is east and west, and 85 is north and south. 85 and 285 intersect each other, all right, at some point. We have something called Spaghetti Junction here. That's where it's still 285. It's like
a giant bowl of spaghetti. It's literally a giant bowl of spaghetti. They all slam everywhere together.
So with that being said, man, I mean, it's like everybody in the morning time, everybody is always going south because they're heading towards the city. And they're going west because 285 west heads towards the city and 85 south heads towards the city. So that's always jam-packed in the morning. In the afternoon, it's the opposite. 285 north is jam-packed, and then 285 east is jam-packed, and 85 north is jam-packed. So it's pick your poison, man. You have to know back roads, man. You got to, and even though if you know the back roads, everybody else knows.
Everyone else knows those back roads too. Absolutely, so they know that back road.
It's kind of a darn if you do, darn if you don't thing. I'm lucky enough where I work opposite traffic. Like I live right in the middle, smack dab in the middle of everything. So in the morning time when everybody's going south, I'm laughing because I'm going north, and I'm free clear space, and everybody else just backed up. And it's the same. Like I just got home or whatever, head home. I'm coming home, and everybody else is backed up because they're heading north now. So yeah, man, it's truly. If I could curse, I would, but it's truly a messed up situation.
Yeah, there was a lot of pushback when they made the announcement that the Braves were moving to Cobb County, and then because more specifically, MARTA does not run there yet. Keyword there is yet. There has been a lot of debate that's going to come soon. I guarantee you, it'll happen soon. But then also, they were like, well, where are they going to put it? And they said, we're going to put it right at 285 and 75. Matt, you remember when they made the announcement, Fox 5 was like, this is where they're going to put it. Everybody was like, are you absolutely
Yeah, it
boneheaded.
didn't make sense. It was like, that's not Atlanta. That's
That
like
was the
that's
absolute.
Cobb.
Yeah, that was the biggest boneheaded situation. But then it come to find out the reason why they did there is because the vast majority of the season ticket holders come from Cobb County. They come from the Marietta region, actually. And there are a lot of high end areas over there. So it's more or less, it's going to be, so you see a lot more fanciness and improvements with the team. I have this sneaky feeling that when and if the Atlanta Braves go for sale, the new owner is going to open up the checkbook and start paying more money for their all-star talents. I can see that coming. I think it will come in the near future. So we'll see. We'll keep you updated though if and when the team is sold. All right, Matt. And then there were 2 games left. What do you think I'm talking about? The 2 games left.
I don't know, man. Enlighten me.
Miami of Ohio. The Red Hawks have a very real chance to go 31-0. They have 2 regular season games left. They're 29-0. They had the scare of their life this past weekend on Friday night against Western Michigan, but they pulled out at the end and won 67-65. Now we keep mentioning them because they do have a real chance to finish the regular season undefeated. We just saw one team just got awarded the regular season undefeated in women's basketball, and that was UConn. They went 31-0. So you guys have all watched the college basketball season this season. And if you haven't, you literally been living under a rock. There have been an amazing amount of great matchups that have been going all over the world, basically. But the regular season is coming to an end, and the conference tournament play is starting up. So I want to ask you this, Matt. Do you think they get let's just say Miami of Ohio wins their conference tournament? Do they get a high seed? Or are they just getting one of those, we're going to throw at you just because you won, you got the AQ? What do you think?
With it's very unlikely because they play in the Mid American Conference, and it's typically a one bid league.
Yeah, there is an AQ. However, sometimes you can have an automatic. Or you can have an at-large.
Understood. That's definitely understood. I remember back when it was so simple for all of us. You win your conference, you're automatically in. But then also, if you were if you got to the game and you had a really good season, even if you lost, you were kind of in. But it's different because I don't know, man. What's their ranking? Right? What's the rank right now?
23rd. No, sorry, 21st.
Okay. They have a top 25. They're a top 25 team. I think,
but they haven't had any major. They haven't had a lot of quad wins.
Well, if they lost one time, I could still see them getting in. If they lost one time, it can't be a bad loss though. It has to be like one of those last second crazy losses, man. Like they weren't supposed to lose that game. If they get blown out, man.
Joe Lunardi has them as an 11th seed taking on Louisville and Oklahoma City region. But, I mean, what do you think? Do you think that's a fair?
I think if they get blown out, they'll be like an 11th or 11, 12 seed. But if they win their conference, I can see them being like a 5 seed, man. I can see them being a 5 seed.
Because that ever dreaded a 5-12 matchup.
Exactly, right. But I could definitely see them being a 5 seed at the highest.
Okay, so let's do the floor ceiling and we do 4. What is their floor?
Their floor, well, depending on what? Depending on if they win their conference or if they don't win their conference. Well, basketball
let's just say if they win their conference.
If they win their conference, their high is a 5. Their low is 7 or 8 if they win their conference. That's
if they lose, but if they don't win their conference.
If they lose, their high is more like 7 or 8. Their low is like 11 or 12. See.
Okay. Now, what do you think, Shane? Do you concur with what Matt's saying though?
Concur.
I'm not sure. They're on a miraculous run right now, but there's arguments. I mean, I know one outlandish argument was what Bruce Pearl said that they would be in the bottom of the Big East. I don't necessarily see that happening with this team, but I could see them getting in as like a 6-7 seed. being an undefeated conference champion.
Okay. Well, let's do what I did with Matt. The floor is ceiling. Okay. I want you to give me their floor and their ceilings through your end.
I'll give you three.
Okay.
Give you three. So I'm going to say six seed if they go undefeated and win their conference championship.
Okay.
I will go with a 10 seed if they lose a game but still win their conference championship.
Okay.
I will go with a 12-13 seed if not a play in one of those 12 play-in games, that 12 seed play-in game.
Mm-hmm.
If they go undefeated and lose their conference championship.
Okay. I like that. What do you guys think in the chat and everywhere on? Let us know what you think about the seedings.
I mean, but going back to Miami, Ohio, you gotta understand, man, that I don't think they've beaten a ranked team all year. That's the thing. I don't think they haven't played a ranked team all year. So that has to be put that's in high consideration.
But they also look at the conference they play in is a weaker, significantly weaker conference.
That is true. Yeah. But they have outer conference games for the first 10, 15, almost 20 games out of conference, mixed in with some conference games. But they haven't really played anybody. And basketball is different. Basketball, if you don't play anybody, they're not going to reward you. They're not going to reward you if you don't play anybody. So I you know what? I'm right there with Shane. Yeah. Right there between what Shane said and what I said the first time, because I went back and looked at their schedule, man, and I don't see a ranked opponent on there. I don't see a Power 5 opponent on here, to be honest with you, man. Yeah. And had a couple games.
Air Force is not a pushover.
Air Force is not a pushover. You're absolutely right. Air Force is not a pushover in football.
That's one thing that I see. Definitely the difference between if you look at the MAC in basketball compared to like the Atlantic 10 in basketball. But both mid-major type conferences, one's just doesn't do football and does basketball better than the other one.
But also, you guys also saw that Akron's on that list, and they beat Akron.
Yeah. But
Akron's having a career season.
Here's what the committee always takes into account. And I had the luxury of actually speaking with somebody on the committee a few years back. And one thing I remember him saying was a lot of things they look at is a team that does win against does play in the weaker conference. They look at the shock of playing a Power 5 conference. These guys probably haven't seen an NBA. These guys probably have not seen a first round NBA draft pick all year. Okay, so how's that going to look like when you go against North Carolina or Duke and they got a team full of first round pick or NBA players? That's the shock. That shock. It's different. It's different playing basketball against a team full of non-pro talent than when you go to a team full of pro talent. It's a totally different beast. It's a different ball game. So the initial shock, how will that wear on them? That's why you see so many blowouts when teams of that magnitude play the lesser teams. And it's always at first, it's like a shock, and then the score is 40-12. And then by the time the lower team comes back around and you get into it, the game's over with. There's like 8 minutes left in the second half, and it's a wrap, man. I mean, so and it's how would they be with the initial shock? And Duck Father, that Wichita State team has some D1 pro talent. Fred VanVleet, who else? Was Fred VanVleet? They had a couple other NBA players on that team. This Miami of Ohio team does not have a first round NBA draft pick on it. So
they maybe have
right
one
now,
or two
right now,
second rounders.
Yeah, right now they're the product of great coaching. They are the product of great coaching right now. So I have to give Cleanthony Early as well. Cleanthony Early, who got drafted into, I think it was draft pick number 40 something. He was on there. He went to the Knicks. You have Fred VanVleet on that squad. I think
you said Ron Baker.
Yep, Ron Baker, who also went to the Knicks. I mean, you had some NBA players that got drafted on that team. So People even dating back to the Butler team. Remember that Butler team when Brad Stevens was the coach? I mean, I think they were in the A-10 that year, but they had Gordon Hayward. They had a couple other players, man. So, I mean, this Miami Ohio team does not have any pro talent. So I think, let's say they get matched up. Let's say they get let's say it's like what Shane says in their 7th seed.
What if they play Syracuse? What if they have to play Syracuse like it's listed?
Syracuse has
or Louisville.
Both teams have pro talent.
Syracuse ain't even gonna make it. A sad thing.
But see, because that's the conference. But you know what? That's the conference they play in now.
Oh yeah.
If Miami of Ohio was in that conference, if they were in like the conference Syracuse was in, Miami of Ohio probably, I'll cut the win total in half. I mean, that's just how it is. But you know, it's not the kids' fault. You only play what they put out there. That's on the AD. The AD that makes the schedule. You know, schedule some tougher games.
Absolutely. So, I think this will be a good opportunity for Miami of Ohio because let's just say they go into the NCAA tournament and they finished 35-0. Let's just say that's what they do. Okay. You're 35-0. You're playing in the first round and you lose. Okay. Well, guess what you did though? You got more notoriety to the school because of it was a higher quality product this year on the court. So that's going to open up opportunities for TV networks. Oh, hey, you know what we could do? We can get Miami of Ohio to get us, 30 million views versus Ball State, who gets us 1,000. They're going to go that way.
Look at BYU, man.
Exactly.
Remember, but I know you know, Brandon, but Shane, do you remember before AJ DeBonsa, who was that shooter that was over there at BYU?
Oh boy, Jimmer.
There you go.
Jimmer.
There you go. Boy. Okay, Shane. Yeah, man. And man, I played against Jimmer and his friend. It was Jimmer and his friend at a gym one day.
Lights out.
Lights out. Lights out. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, it's just you're right. You're absolutely right on that one, Brandon.
I was saying about the night or anything, but here's also what happened. Okay, you're 35-0. You went to the NCAA tournament. Oh, I want to play you, Matt. So then, instead of getting these teams like Trinity College, that you beat 147-45, something like that. Now you're going to play against. Let's just say for bleeps and giggles, you're playing Wichita State. That's a formidable opponent. Hey, another school just came calling. UCLA called. They want to do a home and home with you. Okay. Sign me up. That right there, you just got two bigger opponents on your docket. Then let's just say, you have another Northern team that wants to play you, and they happen to be one of the biggest notable teams ever. Let's just say Michigan says, hey, come on over. We'll kick your butts, but we'll pay you $2.5 million for us to mollywop you. But then let's just say Miami of Ohio makes it extremely interesting. Well, guess what? You now have even more notoriety. Rome was not built in a day. People don't realize that. And, this is just an opportunity for them to finally get their names out there more. There have been a lot of reports that the school wants to move up to a new football subdivision conference. They want to leave the MAC. I've heard that a lot. I've also heard that they want to leave the MAC in basketball. There's been a lot of conversations that they want to go to the Conference USA, that they want to go to the Sun Belt. We don't know yet what's transpired, but yes, this team. I don't think this team is going to make that magical run that they send all the way to the NCAA tournament champion Final Four and that stuff. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they will win their first matchup in the tournament, and then that's it. I think that will be it. Do I think they go undefeated all the way to them? No, I think they'll lose in their conference tournament. The team I think that will give them the most fit for that will be Akron. But I think you'll see Akron and Miami of Ohio get in. That's my thoughts on those. What do you think, Shane? Who do you think out of that conference besides Miami of Ohio could get in?
Well, realistically, the only one would be Akron, but I think that there's a whole lot more, at-large mid teams that probably won't win conference championships. I mentioned the Atlantic 10. You sit there, you look at VCU or George Mason. They've all played good. VCU, I think, it's like 11-1 in their last 12 games, and I believe they play George Mason tonight. But you've got St. Louis dominating that conference right now. So I could see them getting an at-large bid over a second team from the back right now. You look at Marshall. Marshall's playing really good as well in their conference. That they could be getting an at-large bid. Be it probably a 14 or lower seed. It all depends if Akron wins that conference championship and Miami were to say lose to Akron by 3 in that conference championship, then you have an argument for say that Marshall team or that VCU team that doesn't win a conference championship to be, kind of taking a back seat because you have this Miami team that's whatever and one for 34 and 1. So you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it could be very interesting. Of course, that's kind of what you got to look at. Some of these, teams that have led conferences throughout the year, and then they go into the conference tournaments and get upset, and so somebody else takes that automatic bid. That kind of dwindles down the number of at-large teams if you have that happening, especially in conferences like the MAC, who have a great team that is ranked right now as the leader. A few years ago when Gonzaga was kind of ruling that conference, and then St. Mary's won it that year in the tournament. It kind of messed up a whole bunch of at-large supposed bids because there were a couple of other upsets in conference tournaments. So, as far as that goes, man, that's one thing that I love about this time of the basketball season is watching these mid-major conference tournaments, which are normally starting up this coming weekend. A full weekend before you get the Power Four conferences and their tournaments. So you get to kind of see how the field's going to be kind of set, and then you get to see, how these at-large Power Four teams do, and if they don't do good, then where do you put these mid majors ahead of them, or do you keep them at the same and then put the Power Fours in?
Absolutely. And, people don't realize also there is a vote slated to take place at the end of this season for potentially expanding the NCAA tournament to either 72 or 76 teams starting in 2028. So we eventually, I think we're going to see every conference have at least 2 get in. It's going to be interesting, but we definitely, whatever transpires with University of Miami of Ohio, we're tipping our caps to you. You guys have had a phenomenal season. It's nothing to bat. You're 29-0. It's something to bat an eye out. You're doing really good. So be proud of that.
Coach, don't go breaking anything.
Yeah, don't get a $2,500 fine again because, I don't look. MAC coaches don't get paid a lot in general, and $2,500 is not a lot to some people, but smaller conferences it is. And if you're extremely angry and you're walking out, just bite your tongue. Don't do that, because everything you do nowadays is watched. Everything. Even if you think you're not, I guarantee you somebody has a form of a video camera on you. Even if you're
Somebody's
at a game,
catch it.
if you're somewhere digging your nose and praying to get gold out of there, and I guarantee you it's going to get picked up either on the TV or somebody's phone, or you're going to be on someone's podcast in the back of the stage and you're digging and not really expecting that to happen. Matt knows that also what we're talking about.
Digging for gold, baby. Digging for gold.
So yeah, don't think you're not being watched. You're being watched. I promise you are. So the NFL draft, y'all, is literally a little more than 2 months away, 53 days to be exact. Now, we know there are always mounds upon mounds of trades that take place. Some of them could be the worst, and some of them could absolutely be the best. Now, there was a report that the Raiders have been open to listening for potential trades, not just for Crosby, but also for the number 1 pick. The Jets have been feverishly hunting. I'm sorry, guys, shout you out, Ben Rodriguez. I'm shutting you out on that one, but the Jets, they've been feverishly hoping to get that opportunity to get number 1. My question, though, to everybody, especially with you, starting with you, Shane, let's just say that there is this offer that it's like biblical offer. It's the best offer you could ever imagine. Do you think that the Raiders jump on it and pull the trigger and trade away the number 1 pick, or would they not do that? And it is the Raiders. The Raiders do the boneheaded stuff. You know that, Matt.
Well, it's kind of the off-formidable number 1 pick this year is going to be Fernando Mendoza. You've talked about it a whole lot, Brandon. Next year's quarterback draft class is going to be ridiculous.
That's amazing. That's insane.
I can see. I can see. I don't think anyone really has got enough need to want to trade up with what the Raiders are probably going to ask for that number 1 pick.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about drafts and trades and stuff like that. Hey, first trade of drafts already happened, according to sources today, with Montgomery going to the Texans. The Lions are getting a 4th and a 7th round pick out of it already.
Lions are going to absolutely backwards.
Wait, that trade happened?
Yeah, it happened today. Yeah,
according to sources. Yeah.
Oh,
They traded the Lions traded Montgomery to the Texans.
Yeah, he said this morning or yesterday he wanted to get out of there, man.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they gave up
first story
and two draft picks.
Yeah, it was like the first story this morning. It was weird.
Yeah, but with that being said, there's many of other holes that these guys look and with the value of that number 1 overall pick, and really only being one true overall kind of pick that you see this year.
By default.
Yeah, by default. I mean, I just don't see anybody giving up that amount of capital to go up there and get them, unless you hear rumors of somebody that's extremely desperate and they package.
So I'm so glad you said there really is somebody out there. There is going to be somebody that is absolutely desperate that they would pull a Mike Ditka. Let me give you all my draft picks for the first pick.
Here's one thing. I could see that happening, especially if Crosby was part of that deal.
Yeah, that's the question. What's going to happen with Max Crosby?
I think somebody's going to get desperate, but I don't think it's going to be with the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to ask for too much, but somebody will get desperate and reach for a QB in the first. So don't be surprised if you see Ty Simpson get drafted in the first round.
Ty Simpson, I'm going to go ahead and put this out on a limb. I'm going to say 13 to the Rams or 16 to the Jets.
I can see him going 8 to Miami, to be honest with you, too, as well.
Well, they said that Dolphins did say they were moving on from Tua.
About that in that top 10, but I can see them maybe going back.
Remember though,
trading back and getting another team.
Don't say Atlanta.
Remember this name, Christian Ponder.
Oh yeah,
remember him?
Remember him? His ESPN
112 to the Vikings.
Christian Ponder's wife still works at ESPN, doesn't she?
I think so. But remember that, man, drafted way early. Who else is give me another QB drafted super duper early? Way earlier than expected to be.
Desmond Ridder.
EJ Manuel. Remember EJ Manuel?
Yes.
Drafted to the Bills. Who else we had,
Russell.
man?
Marcus Russell should not have been picked number 1.
But Jamarcus Russell was the consensus number 1 pick. There was no doubt about that.
It's between him and Ryan Leaf, who was the biggest bust.
You should have been Calvin Johnson. You should have drafted Calvin Johnson. But we get it. Teams draft quarterbacks. You value a quarterback want to enter the position. Quarterback has to get the Calvin Johnson type player the ball. And the Raiders didn't have a quarterback, so they got Jamarcus Russell. At that time, Jamarcus Russell was the slam dunk number 1 pick. Remember them LSU days, man? He was going off in college. So nobody knew he was going to get the money and just, from first round pick. And that's back when you could decide what you were getting. It's before the Sam Bradford contract, right? Because Sam Bradford was the last one. From that to stealing money from PTO meetings, man. Dang.
Winner, not a chicken dinner right there.
Dang, Jamarcus, PTO money, man. Dang, man.
Yeah. But I can tell you that one thing that I'm going to look forward to in this draft is I think that we're going to have a bunch of trades happening.
I can see that.
If certain players fall, because there's all kinds of different talents. Like nobody's that all around kind of talent that you're going to leap up there and go for. That's I mean, how many number 2 picks have you seen already this year? I think I've seen one guy do 3 different number 2 picks already in his mock drafts. So, it's not, you don't have anybody other than Mendoza at kind of that slotted spot. So I could definitely see like players start falling, teams don't take them because somebody else is available. You're going to see probably, I'm going to say over under of 5 trades in the first round this year.
Matt, do you think Atlanta's going to make any first round trades?
I don't see them trading to the first round 2 years in a row. That's just too much capital to give up over the span of 2 seasons. So I don't see that. I think they're going to hang tight, get them a wide receiver probably in the second round, and then get some defensive linemen in the third round and so on. Definitely need to get a wide receiver. So that wide receiver from Tennessee, that 6'4" cat, had a nice combine. I can see them grabbing somebody like him to go opposite of Drake London, or that guy that ran 4.3 from UGA, that 5'9" receiver. They need somebody that can take the top off the defense because that's something that the Falcons don't have. They can use him, and so or that quarterback that ran a 4.3 convert him to a wide receiver. Because that's what's going to happen.
I think Atlanta is going to be smart. I really do. I think we're not going to see the impulses that we saw with Thomas Dimitroff, and definitely not with Terry Fontenot. I just don't see that happening. I think they're going to be slow and methodical. They're going to think this out thoroughly and get it. And I think that's okay. Yeah, you can let him on. You know how to do it, Matt?
You're going to have to do it.
I'll do it. Message on the screen, okay?
All right.
Snowman, we're coming.
I want to see what he thinks Chicago's going to do, man. I'm sorry, Chicago. What Chicago's going to do?
Chicago.
I say Chicago. Tell him I sent the stream.
Chicago.
The
Bears. It should be interesting, man. Should be interesting. Snowman, he sent it to you.
Yeah, we just sent it, so you have it there, Snowman. So you can come on in. So, but Matt, I like I said, I think Atlanta. I think they're going to be smart. I think we're going to see a lot of conservativeness with the Atlanta because our front office has been so volatile, and the fans, they don't trust the front office. You know that very well. We don't trust the front office of what's going on.
That's why there's a new front office in there, man.
Yeah. So people are naturally going to be even more weary than most.
I don't know, Brandon. I think people are going to be happy. It's just somebody different in there now. That's the same relief from when we
have 1,000,001 armchair GMs. I get that. They're all over the place. But, and you've seen this. I guarantee everybody else has seen this. If you follow Falcons stuff on Twitter, a player gets cut. What's the first thing that people say? Let's go sign him. Tyreek Hill cut. Let's go sign him. That's literally what they do. All right, Matt, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's up, Trouble?
Trouble? Me? I haven't said anything.
Matt has a question for you, though. He would like to hear. So go ahead, Matt.
Lay it on me.
Mr. Snow. We kind of we're talking about the NFL draft here and the combine that just happened. I don't know how much
they need to close the combine.
I agree.
They need to get rid of the combine, and I'll tell you why. The combine shows something in February. What you need to worry about is those guys being in pads beginning in June or July.
They do review game tape now. They go over the game tape. They do that. But here's the thing, though, man. I know you just like the combine right now, but the real question I want to ask you, it was draft related, but this one I'm gonna lead off with is what are you gonna do if you guys don't have a team, man?
We'll have a team.
Because I hear you guys are moving somewhere in Indiana.
Hammond, Indiana.
Whoa. Halt. He says, hold the phone. Stop. Timeout. Penalty flag on the field. Give me my soundboard right here, right now. Matthew, I don't give 2/5 of a half of a about the Chicago Bears. Let them play in Indiana for all I care. They messed up Soldier Field in the first place.
It is time for
they built the spaceship on top of hallowed ground. That's like saying Wrigley Field is iconic.
Mm.
Yes, I went there.
Ooh. All right, so tell me, what would you like to see the Bears do this draft?
Not a doggone thing, because that's not my team.
Well, who's your team?
49ers.
What did the Niners do?
Oh, hold on. When did this happen? I thought you were a diehard Bears fan from the beginning.
Matthew.
When did this happen?
Listen, Matthew, listen carefully, okay? I explained this last year, and you didn't listen.
I must have missed the memo.
You missed 2.5 years worth of memos, my friend. I've been a 49er fan since 1980.
Okay, and you know what? And I've been a fan of disco as well, but that doesn't mean that that's my genre. You know, we know the Bears are your team.
Listen, the reason this Chicagoan is a 49er fan for life, I'll give you 2 words: Joe Montana.
I was thinking you're going to say Steve Young.
He came next, but the fellow who did it for me was Joe Montana.
Worthy opponent there.
Okay,
absolutely.
well then tell me this. What do the 49ers need to look at in the draft to make sure they can draft players that can stay on the field for all 17 games?
2 positions.
Move the practice field.
Yeah, they need to do that. They need to build the practice field where they play at Candlestick Park, all right? But in all seriousness, 2 positions I'm looking at with San Francisco. One is wide receiver, because we had no wide receivers all last year.
You had one driving past the stadium.
we gotta get some healthy bodies, and we gotta get some wide receivers, because what got us to the Super Bowl in 2023 is something the Niners need to work on all the way around, and that's depth. The last 2 years, we did not have any depth at any of the key positions. The second position I'm looking at is linebacker. Got to have a backup linebacker, because once we lost Fred Warner, even though they did go on to win 12 games, how did teams beat us? Up the middle. Why don't I like Ricky Pearsall? 2 reasons. 1, I don't like his hands, and 2, he can't stay on the field.
Well, I mean, let's credit. He got shot, man. I mean, come on.
1, I don't like his hands, and 2, he can't stay on the field. I know he got shot. I understand that. I dig that.
Hold that against him, man, for being on the field.
I can hold you asking me questions about the Bears against you.
This has to be the most epic bandwagon jump in a short amount of months that I've ever seen. This is the most epic bandwagon jump I've ever seen.
Look, give me this camera.
Give me this camera. Give him the full screen, Brandon.
You got the full.
Matthew, apparently you didn't get the memo and you don't pay attention. I have been a 49er fan since Joe Montana's first ever comeback against the New Orleans Saints on December 7th, 1980. When they wiped out a 35-7 deficit and won in overtime thanks to Ray the Machine Worshing 38-35. I watched when they beat the Cowboys twice in 1981, once in the regular season, and of course the iconic catch on January 10th, 1982. I was there when they won all 5 of their Super Bowls, especially the first 4 with Mr. Joe Montana. I was there virtually when they drafted Jerry Rice on a sneaky move, booting the Redskins out of the 10 slot so they can draft Jerry Rice. I was there when Roger Craig finally got elected into the Hall of Fame after 33 years, and it should not have taken that long. All right? I've been there. Left to right on the offensive line in the 80s. William Bubba Paris or Steve Wallace. That's the left tackle. Left guard was Jesse Sapolu. Center was Randy Cross. Right guard Guy McIntyre. Right tackle Harris Barton. And then when Randy Cross retired in 1989, you slide Jesse Sapolu over to center. Then you go Bubba Paris, Guy McIntyre, Jesse Sapolo, Bruce Colley, and of course Harris Barton. Epic bandwagon jump. Talk to bronzexuals, okay? Epic bandwagon jump. Talk to fans of Matt's stupid Uber fools. Epic bandwagon jump. And I hate doing this, and I mean this as a joke only. Epic bandwagon jump. Talk to fans of Matt Ryan after Super Bowl 51.
Ooh. I get you that.
You want an epic bandwagon jump? Talk to fans of Tom Brady when he went down to Tampa Bay. How about that?
It's true.
Epic bandwagon jump. How about all the Bears fans that crawled out of the woodwork after burying their heads in the sand because all of a sudden Caleb Williams knew he could play football, which he can't.
How about the Seahawks? That's the epic bandwagon fan system right there.
Don't get me started on the Seattle Seahawks. I've had to deal with them for the longest time. And some of the Seahawks fans are great with me, okay? I pick on them all the time, and they pick at me. But the bandwagoners, they suck.
Yes.
Okay? They suck. They suck more than DJ Moore trying to be a number one receiver for the Bears.
He gets paid like it, boy. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
They suck more than the Bears defensive back who got cut after allowing a game-winning touchdown to the Washington Redskins.
I remember that he was celebrating. The guy that was celebrating early.
While if there's one thing you don't celebrate, even if you have the lead and you think your opponent is in an impossible situation, you don't celebrate ... while the play is in motion.
But didn't that loss kind of help them get Caleb Williams? I mean,
Caleb Williams blows chunks.
He's still a young quarterback, man.
He sucks.
Well, look, man, when he's done painting his fingernails, he can actually sling it a little bit. I mean,
Caleb Williams got lucky. He got lucky.
You got to get lucky to win sometimes, man. I mean, that's part of the game.
Look, let me.
He got an offensive line.
He does have an offensive line.
Not anymore. He doesn't, because two of their offensive linemen are going to go bye-bye.
Yeah.
Listen. You want an offensive line? Since Matt loves to paint me as a Bears fan, okay, you smart aleck. Jim Covert, Mark Bortz, Jay Hilgenberg, Tom Thayer, and Keith Van Horn. That's the offensive line the Bears need to actually succeed. Because they got ripped in the overtime against the Rams.
They ain't on an offensive line like that, man. You're talking about a Super Bowl offensive line.
I rest my case. In all seriousness, Matt, who's your team?
Boy, well, guys, it's been a great episode of the Sportz Nutz. Let's go ahead and
he's an Atlanta Falcons fan.
Just going to shut this down for the day.
Matthew, you are not running from me.
He's an Atlanta Falcons fan like me.
Oh, he is a Falcon fan.
Yes.
Okay. Dear Matt Thomas.
Oh, boy.
Steve Bartkowski.
I met him. Good guy.
Great guy.
And I wanted to be up here just to pick at you guys because I haven't had a chance to do it in a while.
I know, man. It's been a while, man. It's been a while, man.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
So now, where can everybody find you?
Someone asked me a question about Dwight Clark, the OG that helped put the 49ers on the map. He should have been in the Hall of Fame right after he made that catch. Of course, it still would have taken a while because he played an extra 5 years.
He said, "I love Steve Bartkowski." That's all that needs to be said.
Mm-hmm.
Steve's a great guy.
And they expected Matt Ryan to be Steve Bartkowski and end the curse. What?
Well, hey,
they expected Chris Chandler. Chris bleeping Chandler.
Well, look, man, Brett Favre didn't work out, so
the reason why Brett Favre didn't work out is because Jerry Glanville hated him. That's the only reason why.
Well, if he would have got home, sat his butt home, and stopped drinking and partying all the time, he would have been liked.
Jerry Glanville is dumber than Craig Elo.
Come on, man. It was Jordan. What is he supposed to do against Jordan?
I'll repeat the words of the late great Jim Durham.
That was good defense on Jordan.
No, it wasn't.
That was great defense. The shot on Elo, good. Bulls win. Oh, he had his hand in his face. What can he do?
Mr. Thomas, Craig Elo is 6'7", and he looked like he was 6'1" when Jordan went up for that shot.
He did. But let's take it into account. Let's take into account camera angles.
And the copy words of the immortal late great Jim Durham, because it always happens to Craig Elo. He said that during a Bulls Cavs game. I think it was January 5th, 1991. Because Jordan, we know Jordan is the king of impossible shots. He gets wrapped up by Elo, flips the ball over his head. Somehow it finds the basket. And all you hear Johnny Red Kerr, another legendary announcer, say, we've seen them all, Jimmy. We've seen them all. And then Jim Durham spits out, and it always happens to Craig Elo.
But see, John, this is the message John from Pitch. Joe Montana had already won, though, before he went over there. So, I mean.
Joe Montana started as a 49er. Yes, he played with the Chiefs, but he retired a 49er. They hung his jersey. He turned Candlestick Park into Camelot.
There you go.
He turned Candlestick Park into Camelot.
Must be nice, man. Must be nice. Must be nice to be the winners of a script for an NFL season. Wish I knew how that felt.
Matthew, y'all had 2 shots at it. You blew it. Twice.
Run the ball.
Well, nobody really expected us to really beat Denver. We weren't even supposed to be there. It was supposed to be Minnesota.
You know what? That's a stupid thought, and I'll tell you why. You had the bowling ball running back to take care of Denver's defense, and ... you didn't use him.
Well, that they lowered the box up. There was no way we were going to run on that defense.
I will repeat the words of my father. I don't want to hear it. Y'all had the original Dirty Bird. Y'all had the original Dirty Bird, and you blew it. Matter of fact, I'll go one step further.
Well, you don't have to.
Y'all had William Andrews in 1979, and you let Danny White beat you after blowing a 14-point lead. What?
Hey, Snowman, you want to say something?
Sir. We blow leads, man.
Try me.
It is what it is.
I have this.
Nice.
Hey, third number.
Hey,
but look,
get people's phone
there's
numbers.
Mr. Dirty Bird right there's Mr. Dirty Bird right there himself.
Man, trying to get us shut down.
No, I'm not going to get us shut down.
That phone number off the screen.
Matt, do
What
you
was
have
the number? You didn't see it.
Matt, do you have a favorite basketball team?
Atlanta Hawks.
I do. I root for the Hawks as well, but of all time, my favorite basketball team, we'll go with. No. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's been a lot of good teams. Maybe the Showtime Lakers. But I mean, there's been a lot of good teams. But I root for the Hawks, man. I root for the Hawks. Thank you, Golden State.
You root for the Hawks, huh?
I do. I do.
Root for the Hawks. Okay.
It'll make the championship a lot sweeter.
This is where I mercilessly pick on Matt. You root for the Hawks, huh? From the Omni to Alexander Coliseum to the Georgia Dome for one game. The last game in 1998, 62,046. It roast me from my Grizzlies fan. Listen, I have people ask me all the time, why do you roast your friends when they talk sports? Listen, we're talking sports. We're talking sports, and we're having fun doing it. Man, I was doing this in high school back in the 80s when everybody was roasting me and when I was saying the Chicago Bulls would be a champion someday, and they all thought it was nuts. And
then terrible back there. Tree Rollins, oh my God.
And then 1991 happened, and I'm getting a lot of apologetic phone calls.
Well, I mean,
you know who the Hawks can use it? You know who the Hawks can use at center? I got an old name. I have an old
literally
name.
Everybody, because they stink.
Just a moment. For Matt, I have an old name for you to look up. Wayne Tree Rollins.
I know that.
God, yes.
I know
I
who Tree
recognize that
Rollins
name
is.
immediately.
I know he was over there with you and George Bulls when the Bulls were terrible.
Oh yeah, he started with the
Terrible.
Bulls. The Bulls were bad up until 1984.
Hey, we also had Kevin Willis. I'm just saying.
Kevin Willis was there. Tree Rollins was there. Cliff Livingston was a one-time Hawk.
Mm-hmm. You know who the best center in my eyes all time for the Atlanta Hawks is?
John Concac.
No, he blocked every shot. Said not in my house.
Dikembe Mutombo.
My favorite player. Matt will tell you I have jerseys, basketballs, posters, ball caps, everything signed by him.
Nice.
Greatest player in my mind, the greatest player. And I've got to meet him multiple times. His daughter.
Is he as nice a guy as he seems to be?
Yes, more nice. His daughter and his son went to
he could party too, boy.
They went to Johnston High School.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That boy could party. I saw him a couple of times. And this is like his older age. This is when he's in his like 40s and stuff.
Yeah.
He was partying.
I remember being on this. Show, and the first time on this show where I said Matt Uberfools, and the whole panel started cracking up laughing. I still stick with that name,
and we right there with you.
I hope he never gets hired again.
You know the process, man. You know they have the little crew. Set coaches. He'll be a coordinator somewhere for a little bit. Might even go back to college for a bit, and then he'll get a chance again.
Either college, high school, nor NFL should hire Matt Stupid Fools again.
So, man, it's always fun having you on. Can you let everybody know where they can find you, my friend?
Yes. We gotta keep it pushing.
snowmanmultimedia.com. You can find me youtube.com/@snowmanmultimedia. And I want to ask the folks a favor, if I'm allowed. Still working on recovering from cancer and everything, but could use some assistance. So if y'all can go to gofundme.com/snowman's road to recovery, anything you give will go to not just me but my family, and I appreciate you guys.
Amen. Snowman, I'm gonna talk to you soon. Sound good, brother?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll bring you on for a post-draft thing, man.
You got it. And I'm doing the first round, so it'll be fun.
Perfect.
There you go. All right, Snowman. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Thank you,
boss.
All right, Shane. Give us your sports story, my friend. The floor is yours.
Oh yeah. Well, I got a little quick sports story. As we were talking about the NFL draft, Mr. Sawyer Robinson, quarterback from Baylor, is going into this year's draft. He is the very last quarterback of Mike Leach. Played for Leach in 2021, transferred to Baylor after his passing. But it's just kind of a hard thing to see. This is the very last quarterback that Mike Leach coached is going to be going into the NFL now. So as everybody knows, we always have high praise for Coach Leach. His mindset, philosophy, everything, not just about the game, but about life in general, was just a spectacle to see. And, if you want to know who he is, there's plenty of clips that you can go out there and find anywhere. He was a decent human being in anybody's book. So it's kind of bad to see. He's projected as a day 3 pick, though. Hopefully he gets there and gets his chance. It's pretty prototypical size, like 6'4", I think 220. He's got decent arm strength, so should make somebody's team, and hopefully does well and carries on that Leach legacy that he had.
Amen. Matt, do you have a sports story you'd like to share?
Oh, it's kind of a quasi story, something like that, man. But guys, don't be surprised if we get 10 teams into the SEC, 10 teams from the SEC into the tournament, guys. I mean, we're talking like a lot of teams here, a lot of really good teams that are gonna, that can all win the SEC. First of all these teams can win the SEC conference championship. You're talking about Florida. I think Florida's ranked number 5 right now. Florida, Vanderbilt, Alabama, Arkansas, Even Georgia's 20-9 right now. Same thing with Missouri. The Volunteers are ranked number 23. You got A&M, Kentucky, the Longhorns. But that's where it kind of stops, man. Then after that, you get a kind of more of a drastic fall off, and you get down to like LSU and Oklahoma. But prior to that, guys, we might be seeing 10 teams from the SEC in the NCAA tournament. So let's be on the lookout for that, man. And then, shout out to the SEC, man. Looks like they're trying to take over in basketball too, as well as football. Hey, pretty soon we might be seeing people might be crying for parity like they did, in the for football. So we might see some changes to the tournament or something like that, man. So we might see something like only 4 teams from your conference can get in, or some crazy stuff like that. So I'll be on the lookout for that, because this is like, weren't they all these SEC teams good last year too as well?
Yeah, there's like
it 12 or 13 last year.
It was kind of the same thing, man. So we might be seeing something, man. So let's kind of be on the lookout for that.
Absolutely. All right.
What a fourth of the field's going to be SEC, ACC only?
We'll
about 22, 24 teams between those two conferences possible to get in.
That's crazy.
And we see that every year with the SEC, ACC challenge. So,
hey, we'll see. Now comes the best segment of the show. It is the Yes, it is the honorable mentions. We give you 2 to 4 sports stories that the mainstream media doesn't cover enough of, or doesn't cover in general. So, with that being said, my first honorable mention has to go to first off, it goes to number 1. Why? Because it's been 1 year since we saw, and you guys are going to love this one. And no, you don't need to edit it, Matt. It's been 1 year since we saw the quote unquote Edmonton Oilers special shower. She flashed herself and Edmonton actually went on a run and made it all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. Now, of course, there are those who believe anything is superstitious could make the sporting team better. Events, well, you say interesting. So, congratulations on the fact that it's been a year that since you made Edmonton Oilers random history. Matt, it was your first honorable mention. Sorry, Shane, what was your first honorable mention, Shane? I apologize.
Well, my first honorable mention, I'm going to go shout out to my little cousin, Julie. She had her first middle school softball game this evening. Ended up going 3 for 4, 3 singles. They played a tough team, but ended up only losing in extra innings by 1 run. But congratulations to her. She's off on a hot start, especially 6th graders starting for a middle school team. So congratulations and shout out to Julie.
Amen. Matt, give us your first honorable mention, please.
I know it's been a while since I've done this, man. Actually, yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've done this, man. But my honorable mention, man, is continues to go. And you know what, Brendan? I'm gonna tell you why I do this. My honorable mention is gonna go to Bronny James this time, guys. I know it's been a while. It's been a while since I've done it. It's been a while. It's been a while. But I'm gonna tell you why, Brendan. I'm gonna tell you why.
Does it have to do with the draft?
No, it has nothing to do with the draft. All right, but he's been playing some meaningful rotation minutes as of late. He's been playing some meaningful minutes. Has some splashes here and there. But let me tell you the reason why I give him props, Brandon, just so you know, is because he doesn't have to do this. He does not have to pick up a basketball. He doesn't have to, but he does. He does. And I got to commend him for it, man, because that's pressure that you, me, or Shane cannot even deal with. We can't deal with that. There's no way we can deal with that pressure. It'll probably cave us in. So I'm going to have to give him respect, man. He worked his way into give him some minutes in the rotation, especially the last few games. He's doing his thing, man. He's doing his thing. He's doing his thing, man. So I got to respect it, man. Again, he does not have to do this. He doesn't have – people forget he was a top streamer gamer, man, before he decided to pursue this NBA journey, man. So, he could have went that route, but he went this route. So I got to respect it. So I'm going to give him – that's going to be my first honorable mention, man. Shout out to the young boy, Bronny James. Continue to do what you're doing. Continue to elevate. And hopefully one day you could be a good 10-point per game scorer in the league, man. So let's do this.
A good 2-point score. Is that what you just said?
Did you see that?
You said what?
Did you? Oh, did you see the defensive tackle from Georgia? Like 340 pounds almost. He had the same vertical as Bronny.
Woo! 340?
Yeah.
Wow. Man. My next honorable mention is going to be shout out to all the high school basketball teams that have been going as they are in the thick of the state tournaments. Now, I know here in South Carolina it is the finals. Georgia, I believe, is in the second round. But shout out to the soon-to-be state champions all over the entire country. Shane, give us your next honorable mention.
My next honorable mention is going to go out to Radford, the city where I'm from. Radford University. They had a baseball player that was killed in a car crash, and not but hours later, the team rallied to beat Bryant by walk-off fashion. Our heart and prayers definitely go out to the family and the baseball team going through, a tough time. But shout out for going out there and playing in his honor and getting a very special win.
I like it. Matt, give us your next honorable mention, please.
My next honorable mention is going to go to Jonathan Kuminga. He had his third game as a Hawk, man, and he had 20 points, and he had two crazy top 10 Sports Center dunks yesterday. So day before yesterday, one of them a windmill, and then he switched hands in the air and yammed on somebody from Portland. So shout out to Jonathan Kuminga, man, showing us all that Steve Kerr does not know what he's talking about.
My final honorable mention is the shout out to the viewership numbers to start the first week back from the Olympic break in hockey. The Tampa Bay Lightning and Toronto Maple Leaf matchup had a peak of 25 million views, but the first week as a whole overall had 62.4 million views, or a jump to start the second half by 8%. So shout out to all the hockey fans. Congratulations on putting up amazing numbers. Shane, give us your final honorable mention, please.
My final honorable mention is going to go out to a guy that we talked about here when it comes to MLB. It's going to go to Connor Griffin, number one prospect overall for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hit his third home run of spring training today. Says that he's feeling comfortable. So, this could be the first opening day. Could he make a roster spot since Griffey as a teenager? So definitely shout out to him and keep playing ball, young man.
Absolutely. Matt, give your final honorable mention, please, sir.
Hey man, my final honorable mention is gonna go to Ronald Acuna Jr. He's back, guys. He's back.
Actually, he's not.
Yeah, he's gonna come back.
He's on a break because he wanted to go represent his team in the World Baseball Classic.
Yes. I understand that, but he's looking good. He's looking good. So just the overall aura that he's gonna bring, man, when he comes back to the Braves, then so I got to be specific. When he comes back to the Braves, and he's our best player. He's our best player, guys. He's our MVP. Once we get him back healthy, man, the Braves will be right back to where they were. Man. People keep forgetting he's been injured really, man, last couple of seasons. So he's gonna come back 100%, and Braves will be right back there where they need to be.
Absolutely. Guys, we had a fantastic episode. As you know, all good things have to come to an end, and the show does have to end for the night. But we will be back with you, though, on Wednesday. So here's the upcoming episodes. So make sure you pencil them on your calendar so you're not there. You're not missing any minute of it. You're there, not missing any minute. Episode 203 will be on Wednesday, March the 4th. Episode 204, season 5 finale will be this Friday, March the 6th. I will be broadcasting from Atlanta. So, and then we will take a much needed break, and then return for an epic season 6 of the Sportz Nutz. Episode 205 will be season 6 premiere Monday, March the 16th. Kai Corinne of the USA Today, who is exclusively a media member for the Philadelphia 76ers, is joining us. Then we have episode 206, which is Wednesday, March the 18th. Episode 207, Friday the 20th. We have our good friend Jerry West from the Jerry West Show coming back on. He is our Buffalo Bills guy. He's actually made a comment on our stream. It says, "Go Bills." But make sure you guys give him a follow. This is him right here. Oops. This is him right here, Jerry. He's Jerry White. So yes, please make sure to follow him. But guys, we've had an absolute amazing show. So with that being said, for everybody who tuned tonight, we greatly appreciate it. For Snowman hopping on and heckling our guy Matt, we always love it. I would like to say, Matt, would you please give your final goodbyes, please?
Absolutely, man. Guys, hey, man, don't get flagged out there, man. Follow the rules. If you're going to go out there partying, going to go out there, partaking in the devil's nectar, make sure you got a designated driver. Or make sure you call an Uber. Just not get flagged, guys. Don't want to end up in the slammer. Want the whoops pull up behind you, and then if they do that, then it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be a long week for you. We don't want that. So play by the rules.
Amen to that one. Shane, give your final goodbyes, sir.
Oh yeah, well, this Monday is done, everybody. But we surely appreciate everybody out there listening, watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, following, all the good stuff that comes along with it. We do appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. And as Brandon mentioned, we're wrapping up season 5 this week. Can't wait for season 6. Got a lot of exciting things for you guys lined up. May the good Lord bless you. Peace, love, and bacon grease.
Peace, love, and bacon grease indeed. I want to give a quick shout out to everybody again for the newest update we have is we have eclipsed the 4,200 subscriber mark on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for putting in your faith in us and being a part of the Sportz Nutz growth. We really appreciate that. So I always tell you guys, peace up, A-Town down. Why it's the greatest sports city that ever was. You guys have yourself a fantastic evening. Shout out to University of Colorado. They did do the practice. Unfortunately, Dominic Ponder did pass away. He was the quarterback for them. But I'm glad to see that they did practice in his name. It means a lot. But you guys have a fantastic evening. Hold your loved ones close, especially with what's going on in this world. Until then, we'll talk to you on Wednesday and enjoy this outro. Good night.